How do I deal with haters at work?
So when I get like hate about certain things, it hurts.
Remember the last thing that you failed at?
That's a good question.
Put you
man.
on the spot.
It's nuts, guys. Don't do it. I know you want to do it. This really feels like a legit help desk, man.
Hey everybody, welcome to Mothership Help Desk, the podcast where we try and help you with all your big or small life decisions. I'm your host, Drew. And each week I have a special guest. Together we try and offer you useful advice for whatever it is that might be keeping you up at night. This week we're going to be talking about career-related things. So I am super excited to have our guest on the show. He is an entertainer, he is an entrepreneur, a restaurateur, a real estate agent, but definitely most famously known for being the original Singapore Idol. Thank you so much for joining me, Taufik.
Thanks, Drew. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
This is a nice setting.
Hey, thanks so much. I ran around to like a tuition center in Woodlands to get this.
Nice.
And then like some random shop in Geylang to get these phones.
I remember these tables when I was in school, man.
Oh yeah?
I remember like this spot right here.
What is this spot for? I've always wondered that.
All right, this is where you're supposed to put your pens, pencils, rulers, and things like that. If you don't want to have your pencil case on the table, so you just chuck everything here.
Yeah.
But generally, my table will be filled with like rubbish lah.
Yeah. I always thought it was the place where you sweep, like, you know, when you like erase something, you like sweep it into this trough. Yeah, and then I don't know what, like it just ends up in there for like years or something like that.
Yeah. That's how my table will look like actually.
Taufik, in your regular life, do people come to you for advice?
Yeah, they do. I try not to give unsolicited advice.
Okay.
Sometimes people don't like that. They hate that. Especially, I don't like to give advice based on the age card. Like, oh, I'm 43. I've been through blah blah blah. You know, that's so annoying. I hated that when I was growing up. And you're like, I'm this age, I've gone through this. No, I don't do that. But if you come to me genuinely asking me for an advice or pertaining to whatever industry you are in, or even if it's not about work, it's just about life, I'll be more than happy to give whatever advice that I can give based on whatever that I've experienced over my life.
Going over to the other side, what is the best advice that you've ever gotten in your life?
Oh, never limit yourself. Never do that, because it doesn't matter what background you come from. It doesn't matter what degree, diploma, what study, what level you studied up to. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
What matters is if you want something bad enough, you can get it. You can do whatever that you want to do, whatever you put your mind to it, you can achieve it.
Yeah.
Because there's this mindset whereby, I came up from this type of background. Oh, my parents are not rich. They can't send me to study in school to up to a certain level. So there's this you victimize yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. This mindset of being a victim.
You put like a ceiling on what you can achieve.
Yeah. You shouldn't do that. You can do anything that you want in life.
Who gave you that advice?
It has to be my dad and my mom. I don't remember specifically when they said it.
The moment when they told you.
Yeah, I don't, because my relationship with my parents is pretty unique. I don't remember them like beating me. They have, but I don't remember like moments where that's like one moment they beat me, or there's one moment that they gave me this advice or whatever that really changed my life. No, there's no magical moment. But the entire journey is magical. Yeah. It's like during my teenage years, because I was born, raised in Taman Jurong. Yeah. And then I moved to Jurong East. And then I was raised again at Boon Lay, and then I moved. Then basically at Boon Lay, my parents got divorced. We moved around Clementi, Buona Vista, Bukit Batok, back to Jurong West, and then Jurong West Extension, and etc. So growing up in Taman Jurong is not the easiest neighborhood. Okay. It's a really old neighborhood, right? Yeah. Boon Lay is as well. It's not the easiest neighborhood. It's one of the older neighborhoods actually. The demographics, the community in Taman Jurong and Boon Lay, it's not the easiest. It's a lot of families who are going through hardship. They're not well-to-do. Families with problems and etc.
Yeah.
But what I believe was really, really important was how my parents brought me and my brothers up. Again, I don't remember specifically or exactly what they did.
Yeah.
But what they did, it really resonated with me and my brothers, and it really guided me through my life.
Yeah, it's like a value that you've always kind of held with you.
Yeah.
Before we jump into the questions that you guys have submitted, if you're watching this at home right now, or if you're listening to this on Spotify or wherever, if you have a question or you have a problem that you want advice on, you can write into us at the link that's flashing on the screen right now, or you can find it as well in the show description. So just click on that link, go to that link, and who knows, we might get someone to give you personalized advice on it.
It really feels like a legit help desk, man.
Oh, I mean, that's what we're here to do. We're here to help the people.
Nice.
Okay, Are you ready for the first question?
Let's go.
So this is from Kuro. Kuro says, turning 20 this year, but I don't know what to do for my future. I have no confidence at all when I try. So, Taufik, you were 20 once.
Yeah.
And obviously, quite young, you got into music, right? Like I think you won Singapore Idol when you were 22, 23?
23.
Okay, yeah. How did you build up that confidence to put yourself up there like that?
Okay, confidence is tricky. Confidence comes with experience, right? When I won Singapore Idol, of course, initially I was a bit more oblivious to the magnitude of the whole competition. I was just like, I was in it, so I didn't understand how crazy the whole thing was. It was like
oh, dude,
I was mad, dude.
I voted for you, actually.
Thank you so much.
I was so young. I think my parents were really upset.
Dude, yeah, I know. I get these stories a lot. Like the bills was piling up for that particular month. And I appreciate that, and thank you to your parents as well.
No worries.
But yeah, confidence. It's what I can say is you have to try things. You have to be prepared to fail.
Okay.
I just had a haircut yesterday for this show.
Thank you.
And I spoke to the barber. I asked him, how old are you? He said he's 23. I said, wow, I'm so jealous of you. He said, why? I'm 43. I'm 20 years older than you.
Yeah.
But this guy is so talented. And then I told him, dude, you have a lot of time to fail. Just try whatever you want to try.
Yeah.
And if you fail, fine. The biggest failure from failing is not learning from it.
Yeah.
The biggest failure from failing is not learning from it. So at 20, whatever you think you want to do, just do it.
Yeah.
And if you fail, learn from it. Understand why you fail. Understand what you lack. Understand if this is the path for you. If it is not, while you are trying out something, it might push you in a certain direction that's better for you, right? But you gotta try it out. You have to try. The biggest thing that's holding us all back is the fear of failure. I still struggle with this.
Even now?
Yeah, for sure, man.
Okay.
I've since Singapore Idol, since my parents got divorced, one of the things that I vowed is to never be poor again.
Yeah.
I never ever want to be put in that situation again, because my mom, my dad is amazing. My dad has been amazing to me and my siblings. He's been doing everything that he can to make sure everything's good for us. But of course, at one point, because back then I didn't know how housing was. Now I know very clearly how it is. He actually, after my parents got divorced, he actually bought a house for my mom and my brothers to stay in, and he's not staying there.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know this back then, but I know this now, right?
Yeah.
But at one point he was gonna get remarried, so he needs the money and etc. So he had to sell the house, which now I understand clearly why he had to do that, right? So I just wanted to put it out there that my dad is amazing. So after he sold the house, we had to stay in a rented flat.
Okay.
So it's one room, one hall. It was at 2 different flats at Clementi, and then we moved to Dover Road.
How old were you when this was happening?
I was when we moved into the rental flat. It was right before I went to poly.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
It was like at the peak of my so-called youth, where you want to enjoy it. Maybe you want to get your friends to come to your house, hang out at your house, or maybe festive period, Hari Raya or whatever. You want people to come to your house or whatever. But that never happened lah, because I was embarrassed about that situation, right? Which is funny. Now in retrospect, it wasn't a big deal. I was just being...
I mean, that's your angsty years.
Yeah,
as well, right?
because there's a lot of people out there who's more going through a lot more hardship than what I was going through then.
Yeah.
But the amazing thing about going through that, it put perspective in my life.
Okay.
That I don't want to ever go through that. But this type of so-called, which I thought was hardship lah back then, right? 1 room, 1 hall, rented flat, bed bugs infested or whatever, was like a big deal, was a hardship for me. So I just didn't want to go through that ever again for my family ever again, right?
Okay.
So that just put me in the perspective. Whatever that I do, it has to be good. I cannot fail ever again.
Okay.
Failure is not an option lah. So for me, even through my 20s or whatever, failure was not an option.
Okay.
Right? So, but in retrospect, for someone who's in their 20s, failure is fine.
You got lots of time to recover.
You got a lot of time to recover and learn from that. And that's going to make you stronger. That's going to build up your confidence. That's going to build up your resilience in whatever that you're going to face in future, right? Because failure is going to come, bro. It's going to come.
Do you remember the last thing that you failed at?
Last thing that I failed. That's a good question.
Put you
man.
on the spot.
That's a good question. What did I fail on? Oh yeah, okay. My wife is way smarter than me, so it's a lot of things I can't beat her at. But maybe, that's... See, I've put up such a strong barrier that I make sure I don't fail. I have to make sure that I don't fail. Okay, the last time that I failed, that's crazy. Yeah, Allah has been, of course, I'm Muslim. Allah, okay, for those who don't know, Allah has been great to me. So I can't remember any definitive situation where I failed and it really bugged me or it really brought me down and etc.
Yeah, I think that's the thing though about like failure. Sometimes like it's not as big a deal as you think it will be going into it, right? You think like if I mess this up, like that's the end of it. But then when you actually do mess it up, like it's just like, okay, we'll just move on to the next thing.
Yeah. So I think, okay, I'm sure I've failed like a whole bunch of times, but the interesting thing is I don't remember it because it's so not important. Yeah. Right? I believe that I've inculcated this idea that it's right, failure is, it happens, and then you just move on. Yeah.
I think we answered the second part of Q Rowe's question, the bit about confidence. But how about not knowing what to do with your future? When did you know you wanted to be a singer?
I'm a huge fan of Michael Jackson, right?
Yeah.
So when I was growing up, I used to dress up and like perform his songs at
Do
home.
the crotch, the
whole thing, man, the whole thing. Yeah, I used to have this video where I asked my dad to film me. I was performing this song, Dangerous by Michael Jackson. So I had like the whole dance and I followed his performance for this award show. I can't remember. I think it was the American Music Awards. So joining Singapore Idol was kind of like, okay, the competition is here. It came to Singapore because American Idol was huge. Yeah. And then when it came to Singapore, I was like, I should try this out. I know I'm not the best singer, but let's just try it out. I think I will regret it if I don't. So this brings back to, you got to try. Okay. You really do not know what can happen until you try something. I was expecting to fail. It's fine. I went for the audition with my brother. He didn't go through. I went through. So it really is, you really do not know what's going to happen, right? So to understand what your path is in life, you got to try things out. I'm sure you have some idea of what you want to do. I'm sure you have some idea of what you want to do. You got to have that one thing that you like.
Yeah.
Just try it out.
Yeah.
Just try it out, and then if you fail, try the next thing. If you fail, try the next thing.
Yeah.
It's okay. Learn from it.
Yeah. I would say that if you really can't think of what you really like, I guess think about what you spend your spare time doing, right?
Yeah.
And if that's something that you're kind of drawn to,
Yeah.
then figure out if there's a way that, you know, maybe you can't, like if let's say you love watching anime or something like that, right? Maybe you can't be an anime artist, but maybe you can work in that industry, in companies that do that kind of thing, right? And
because what people need to understand, it takes an army to drive like a cartoon, to create a cartoon or to create an anime. It takes an army to drive, like, let's say, Mothership.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
Like,
Yeah.
it's not just one person. There's many different departments. There's many different areas. Like if you enjoy content on Mothership, for example, it takes a lot of people to create this. There's 3 different people behind the camera right now. You see only us. And after this, I'm sure there's going to be somebody else who's going to edit this video. And then there's going to be...
I'll edit the video.
Okay, there you go. It's a one-man
I gotta
army.
make myself look good, you know.
Oh, yeah. So I have this thing where I do everything myself as well, right? But that's not always the case. You know, for like, again, there's always other departments that you can try to put yourself in that position to learn more about whatever it is that you're interested in. For example, music. You know, if you like making music, it takes like a sound engineer, it takes like a beat producer or a music producer, it takes a songwriter, a composer, and then the singer, and then the guitarist, and then the drummer. There's many different aspects. And then after you've created the music, and then you have the management, and then you have the label, and then within the label there's many different branches and many different components as well. So if you like a certain thing, try to understand what makes that industry or that the job work.
Yeah.
If you can't go for the top of the food chain, I mean, there's other things that you can do. And then maybe from there, it's going to spark off something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I really like what you mentioned just now.
Oh, cheers, mate.
Yeah.
Let's head to our next question. Okay, why don't we do a quick one before we do the serious one? This is from T. Maybe this can be a reoccurring segment. Just quick advice.
Okay.
Nothing too deep.
Right.
From T says, how to get GF, how to be well liked by boss and colleagues.
Ooh.
1 sentence advice for T.
I've never been in a corporate setting, but from what I know, unfortunately, you gotta suck up to them.
Wow. Okay. Even to get a GF. Even to get a girlfriend.
Oh, sorry. What was it?
How to get girlfriend and how to be well liked by bosses and colleagues. He just wants general advice for his life.
How to get GF. Sorry. I'm 43. My bad.
Okay, I'll go first, and then you can think about it.
Yeah.
1 sentence advice for T. Smell nice. Smell nice, and I think that will help you a lot with your girlfriend. That will help you a lot with your bosses and your colleagues.
Get a good haircut.
Yeah. Next question, we'll go more in depth with this one. This one's from Jay, and he writes, how do I deal with haters at work? How do I deal with haters at work?
Ooh.
I'm sure you have experienced haters.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Haters are everywhere.
Yeah.
Haters are everywhere. Here's the thing about haters, right? They will always be around you.
Yeah.
So just smile and move forward. It's tough. It's tough unless they really cross the line where it gets personal. It involves your livelihood. It involves your family members. That's when I really draw the line, and I go a bit. I get aggressive when people target like my wife or like my family. I get aggressive.
Yeah.
If it's just me, I'm fine. Smile, walk away. Because why? They want you to get affected. This is the whole point of them like hating on you or saying negative things. And it's very, very difficult to walk away and smile or whatever it is and just think about the bigger picture. But it takes practice. It takes self-discipline.
Yeah.
But you have to be able to just move forward and keep your eye on the prize.
Do you think, I mean, because you won Idol when you were 23,
Yeah.
still like fairly young, right? Do you think the way you've dealt with haters or,
Like negative.
negative comments
Yeah.
like over the years,
Yeah.
has it changed from the time when you had just won Idol
Oh,
till now?
yeah. I mean, I used to get really, really affected,
Okay.
right? So back when I won Idol, I had bad skin. I had my face would break out, and sometimes I get very, very insecure when I'm out and when I see people. I would wear my shades or wear my hat or whatever, and I wasn't.
Yeah.
And back then, I wasn't driving initially, and then I quickly got like my bike, so I can just zoom around and not go public or whatever.
Okay. Did you have trouble like getting spotted in public a lot?
I didn't like it on days where I had like really bad acne or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, it's crazy, man. And then especially there's this industry standard that you need to be, not that they don't say that you need to be fair, right? Because obviously I'm not fair skinned. There's this unspoken standard where you have to be fair or whatever because everybody's like talking about skin whitening or whatever and things like that. So that even made me like have this problem with confidence.
Yeah.
So when I get like hate about certain things, about maybe my performance, he's not that good, or blah 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 blah, or it hurts. But that brought me back, or I held on to the idea of I need to keep my eye on the prize. I don't want to be poor ever again. So I just have to keep pushing on. I just have to keep soldiering through and keep my eye on the prize, right? But now I would be lying if I said negative comments doesn't affect me anymore.
Okay.
It does affect me at that moment.
Yeah.
But the next moment it's gone already. Like you can have 100 positive comments and you get one negative comment. You always have tunnel vision and you focus on that one negative comment. This is what happens to, I think, a lot of people. It still happens to me, but the next moment, because I've practiced to keep my eye on the prize and not focus on these things, I brush it off pretty quickly now.
Yeah.
So my advice would be, keep your eye on the prize. Even if you have haters at work, at school or whatever,
Yeah.
your success will be the best revenge.
Yeah.
Your
That's a good
success
one.
is going to be
Yeah.
the best revenge. They're going to like look at you. Sure, hate me from down there, man. I'm up here. Come get me.
I was thinking about this question, right? And like, just to give something a little bit different from what you said already, which I 100% agree with. I think that when we feel like we have haters or like, in the workplace, if like we feel like we're dealing with workplace politics or whatever, I think it's worth taking like a moment to just stop for a second and think like, am I doing something that is causing these people to not like me? Is it because like I'm not working hard enough, I'm not pulling my weight in this department? Take like at least a moment just to consider that.
Yeah.
And then, okay, if you can, cross your heart and say like, yep, I'm pretty sure I'm doing everything I need to do. I don't think I've burned anyone. I don't think I'm being lazy or whatever.
Yeah.
Then you can go ahead and you can, be like, I'm not going to worry about this.
Agree. Self-reflection is very, very important.
Yeah.
If you're oblivious and then you just go, no, I'm doing everything right, and you refuse to kind of like analyze what you may be doing wrong, and you just keep blaming everyone, right? That's also going to be a problem.
Yeah.
So yeah, take a breather, take a step back, understand maybe why they're feeling that way. Is it you? Are you rubbing off wrongly to other people? And then if you genuinely feel like exactly what you said, that no, I'm doing everything right, my principles are correct, whatever that I'm doing, I strongly believe it's right. It's just that this group of people don't see eye to eye, or just don't see that what I'm doing is, or they don't agree with whatever that you're doing. If that's the case, You can, if you want to, you can play. Just be cordial with everyone.
Yeah.
To make sure just you can get through your day. You can keep your eye on the price. So when I say keep your eye on the price, right, is you have to be tactical. You have to move. You have to move in a way like, okay, so they hate me, right? Okay, I know these people. No matter what I do, they're just gonna secretly not like me. All right, that's fine. Let me just do this to pretend like I'm part of their clique or whatever. But I know that these people are not my friends.
Yeah.
They are just work colleagues, or they are just people that I work with. I'm just gonna do this to make sure everything just goes through well. But my eye is still on the price, because these people will not ever be part of my quality friends. These people will not ever be part of my quality circle.
Yeah.
But I just need to keep my eye on the price. I need to do this, just appease them or whatever, since they are very superficial and they need this. They need this acknowledgement or gratification that, okay, whatever lah, I have to do this, whatever. Play the game, man.
Yeah.
Play the game. It's okay, but keep your eye on the price.
Let's get to our last question for today's episode.
Yeah.
This one is from Radia. I'm sorry if I butchered your name. But Radia says, how do I find a job that is suitable based on my personality traits? Is it worth switching careers for this reason? I don't really know what I'm good at, where my interests or passions lie, and if there is even such a job or career in Singapore. Yeah.
Wow.
So this is quite a long question. Maybe let's break it down a little bit.
Yeah.
I think the first one that we can tackle is it worth switching careers to find something that is more suitable for your personality? What do you think? You've done a few different kind of careers, I suppose.
Yeah. I think one thing we have to first understand, right? It's a privilege to be able to work in an industry that you love.
Yeah.
That's a privilege.
Yeah.
Not everybody's going to have this privilege, right? Sometimes you just have to be in a certain industry first to gain that experience first, gain that understanding of your limitation or your capabilities. Then you can start to pursue whatever that you really want to do, right? So I would say whatever industry that you're in for now, do it first. Really try to give it your all. Understand what you like about it or what you hate about it. And if it really is draining you mentally, it really is giving you some, it's really making you depressed or to that extent, right? Then you should career switch lah.
Okay.
If it's up to that extent, right? Because even certain industries, even if you get paid like a lot, but if it's affecting your mental health, right, I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah.
Like for example, in real estate, I may have some clients who come to me. Maybe it's a big ticket sale or purchase and etc. Right? But if I foresee this is gonna give me some form of sleepless nights that is gonna affect my mental health, I may not even take up the case.
Okay, really?
Yeah, because I'm looking at the grand scheme of things. Because if I can be handling 10 cases, but if there's one case that is a problem, like that's gonna affect how I sleep at night, I'd rather not have that case.
What's a typical, what is the kind of problem that you would try and avoid when it comes to real estate?
There's a few.
Someone murdered in the flat.
Issues. I just did this podcast about selling a haunted house.
Okay, yeah.
Is a haunted house sellable? So I had to come in the perspective, what is a haunted house? Like if the house is haunted to the owner, but if a buyer comes in and they don't feel anything, or even when I enter the house, I don't feel anything at all, how is it considered haunted?
Will you tell the potential sellers or buyers?
Yeah, if they ask me, I have to tell.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to tell. If they ask, is this house haunted, etc., I have to say it. Yeah, it's part of this caveat emptor ruling, right? You have to disclose these types of things, right? But again, it's really, really subjective, because a haunted house to one person, whatever this spiritual beings, they may not haunt like the new family or whatever it is. Right?
Maybe the seller's just a bad person, that's why they're getting haunted.
Exactly. It's possible, right? It's possible. So like cases where I see the timeline is going to be crazy, where it's going to be like a big issue in terms of their accommodation, or big issue in terms of their budget. There's many different components. It's going to be a big issue in terms of their sustainability, in terms of them purchasing the next property. I would advise them against it, or I would advise them accordingly. And if I feel it's going to be a ticking time bomb and it's going to cause some issues, I would really advise them against it. Get another agent. I can't do it for you simply because I don't see this as being something feasible for you in the first place. It's not about me. It's going to be a problem for you. But of course, if you engage me, whatever problem that you have, I'm going to have to shoulder this, right? So I don't want you to have this problem. It's going to be an issue. So I would advise them against put your sale on hold, etc. Sometimes they will go to another agent, and then the agent will screw it up, and then they'll just come to me, can you help me out? Say, I'm sorry, I told you not to do it. A few times, happens like a lot of times. So that's a sidetrack
Some
info.
real estate advice.
Just be careful with all of these agents. There's a lot of bad agents out there. Just be careful. Don't need to engage me lah. Just engage a good agent.
How about out of all the different endeavors that you've done throughout your life, right? Like the singing, the restaurant stuff, the real estate stuff, acting as well. Like which do you think fits your personality the best?
I mean, singing lah.
Oh yeah?
Singing is just fun, man. I mean, I enjoy singing through and through.
Is that still the one that makes you feel the most alive when you're doing it?
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. I mean, real estate, it does as well. Okay, everything. If I have to put it in a rank, of course, entertainment is still at the top. Real estate second, and then my restaurant business third. Simply because the idea of entertaining someone, seeing the smile on people's faces, feeling the instant joy, it's such a privilege. I love that feeling of being on stage and looking at the audience and seeing them being excited and enjoying themselves. I really, really enjoy that. Real estate, I enjoy purchasing or selling someone's property and seeing the appreciation. I just concluded this sale and purchase, and then when my client wrote this long message for me, thank you so much for the whole smooth process of this transaction. I never knew that I can sell and get a bigger house. When I was younger, me and my family, it just gave me a whole story, and then now we are in a 5-room flat, and then it feels like such a dream for me and my family. We never thought that this was achievable. And you make this seamless. I don't even have to think about that whole thing. I was like, oh my god. I'm just doing my job. But that just gave me another sense of fulfillment, because you're dealing directly with people's lives. When you move someone's family from one property to the next, and you put them at ease in terms of a bigger house, they feel at ease, they love coming back home. At ease in terms of maybe a smaller house because it's fully paid, because they don't have to think about their their monthly mortgages. At ease because they have seen the cash proceeds or etc. So this, when they tell you these things, and then they get excited and they want to take a photo after everything is done, it's a different type of setting. That gives me another sense of fulfillment as well. And then when I go to my shop, that's another sense of fulfillment.
And you see them sweating because they're
sweating because
really spicy
chicken. And then they come up to me, wow, chicken is shook, bro. It's damn hot, but it's shook. Then I'll be like, oh, thank you so much for coming. And then when I do have time, I'll go up to every table, ask them how it is, how's our food. Clean up the tables and clean up the food, whatever is on the table. I enjoy that. I like to do that. And then the audience that comes to my shop is a lot younger now. They're in their teens or young 20s, and then they will see me, and then they will just give me a dab and things like that. It's cool. It's different because these people don't necessarily listen to my music, right? They're a different audience, right? So
they know you as a spicy chicken.
I guess so. Maybe
connoisseur.
They've seen me on TikTok or whatever.
Or
on Instagram. So it's a different sense of fulfillment. So, but the interesting thing is, to go back to the question that was asked, right? Initially, I thought it was just music. Initially, I thought it was just performing. Who would have thought that this sense of fulfillment came in real estate, which is from music to real estate to crunching numbers for a $500,000 property, or crunching numbers to a $4 million property, to selling chicken sliders, burgers. You know, like you never know. You never know where the joy is gonna come, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes when you're in a certain industry, the joy does not come immediately. Not all of us are privileged enough, again, to be in any industry that we will really, really enjoy. Enjoy every aspect of it, right? But try to find some joy in it. Try to find something that you like about it. And if you really, really can't find anything that you like about it, maybe the pay is good. just stick with it because of the pay.
That's not bad as well.
That's not bad as well, right? Because it's not easy to get a good job nowadays, right?
Yeah.
But if nothing about it makes sense, you should definitely look for a new job.
Yeah, I think the mental health thing is probably the most important. Like, if for me at least, right? Like, if it's something that's it doesn't fit your personality so much that it's causing you like real distress or like, you know, making you like lose sleep at night.
Yeah.
Then maybe you do want to consider doing something different.
Yeah.
Right.
For sure.
It's funny though, because you earlier talked about how like you were an introvert. But so much of like the real estate thing, even the restaurant when you go down and you talk to people, the singing obviously, they feel like very extroverted kind of things.
Yeah. People don't believe me when I say I'm an introvert. My wife knows I'm an introvert. My friends knows I'm an introvert. Because sometimes in a friend setting, I can be at one corner just not talking. Because they know my social battery is dead. Like, I'm done.
Which of the three drains you the most, you think?
I would say real estate.
Okay.
I would say real estate.
Is it because it's the hardest, or is it something about the job?
It's the hardest.
Yeah.
You deal with big numbers. You're talking about millions of dollars.
How's your
right?
math?
Yeah, my math is pretty good.
Okay.
It wasn't. So the interesting thing, it wasn't before. It was alright before, but these are things that you can learn.
Yeah.
These are things that you can improve, right? So I would say real estate, because you have to be the one to put people at ease. You have to shoulder all of your clients' problems.
Okay.
You have to be the ones to problem solve.
Yeah.
They have to look at you with confidence. They have to look at you to solve whatever issues that they have, from timeline to loan issues to available units issues to fighting with their family issues. Many. You have to be a counselor. You have to be a reno person. You have to be a financial advisor. And then you have to be a real estate agent. You have to hold every different hats.
It sounds like super. I mean, like, of the three, it sounds like the highest stakes, right? Like,
for sure.
You're dealing with like someone's finances.
Yeah.
You could really, like, if it's the sale is bad or something, you could really mess them up for quite a while.
Yeah. So I would say that that takes the most out of me. But it is one of the most fulfilling as well. Similarly to the shop.
Yeah.
You know, you got to put the consumers first, the customers first. So you must make sure the food is good, the service is good, everybody enjoys themselves there. Not so much as only the food. They must enjoy the experience.
Yeah.
What do I mean by experience? Why we have different levels of heat? Because when a group of friends come in and then they'll challenge each other to, can you eat the hottest chicken, and etc. And then somebody just starts to cry or something because it's so spicy, or somebody starts to puke. I mean, it happened a few times.
Serious?
Because it's mad spicy. The atomic level is nuts, guys. Don't do it. I know you want to do it. Don't do it.
Can you take the atomic level?
I've done it a few times. No, I can't take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad, dude. It's bad. But there's a lot of people who can.
Okay.
There's a lot of people who can.
Yeah, nuts. What are these people putting in there?
I don't know. It's Carolina Reaper. It is bad news, but there's people who can. Yeah, and there's people who really choke. It's bad. It's bad.
Okay, sorry. I just want to bring it back on point for Radia's question, right? The second part of it, especially, which is about finding a career. Is that if there even is a career in Singapore for what her passion or interest is in. You've done singing and acting, which arguably is quite hard to do in Singapore.
Yeah.
What kind of advice would you give to this person on that?
I will definitely bring back to never limit yourself. Sometimes you may try something out, or you may obviously you set a goal in your life, right, of what you want to achieve. Sometimes whatever it is exactly that you want to achieve, it doesn't come immediately. So you have the stepping stones to getting there, right? And these stepping stones are learning opportunities, right? So you may not like whatever industry that you are in currently, but treat it as a stepping stone, treat it as a learning opportunity to get to the next step, to get to the next level, right?
Yeah.
So again, this brings back to confidence. When you've worked enough in maybe different industries or different companies or whatever it is, when you've learned more from it, when you've gained that experience, you get more confidence.
Yeah.
When you've learned from the failures or whatever it is, you've learned from it, you gain more confidence. When you have more confidence, then you have a lot more confidence to just leave this industry and go on to the next one. So when you go on to the next one, you try it out, and then your focus is, you keep your eye on the prize, right? You do it, and then you realize, oh, I'm actually pretty strong at this. Oh, but actually I wanted to do that, but actually what I'm doing right now, oh, this makes sense. I'm actually liking this right now. And then suddenly your trajectory changes, right? But you're still keeping your eye on the prize, but suddenly your trajectory changes because why? Suddenly this suits whatever that you never thought about doing, but it suits you right now because simply you weren't afraid to try out something new.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is, bringing back to whatever we said in the beginning, first, you must not be afraid to try whatever it is that you're seeing right in front of you right now.
Yeah.
Just try it. Trying it, failing it, learning from it is going to build experience and confidence. And then if whatever that you're doing doesn't make sense to your mental health, you move on to the next one. When you move on to the next one, right now what you have is confidence and experience already. Then you have this, what do you call it? A bit more clarity.
Yeah.
Simply because you have tried and failed. Then now you're moving on to the next one. So just keep on doing this until you reach to a point where you go, right, now I'm here. Now I understand from whatever that I've done before, it has molded me to be to where I am right now. Sometimes it may not still be what you set out to do in the first place, right?
Yeah.
But you will find something that you like along this journey of looking for whatever it is that you really want to do. Again, not everybody is privileged enough to do or be able to do exactly what they want.
Yeah.
But you must try whatever is in front of you first and learn from it. It may get to the thing that you really want to do, or it may even give you like a curveball to show you something that you'd never even thought about, but it's suddenly like, oh my god, I actually love this thing that I've just discovered.
Yeah. And I think the thing that like I would add to that is you just kind of, like you said, right, you kind of never know what your career or your future will look like. You just kind of go along with it. You might have a plan, you might have an idea, but it changes so much. I'm sure you didn't think, I mean, like
real estate, bro.
Yeah, real estate.
No.
Well, you're opening your second restaurant now as well.
Yeah, second restaurant. Yeah, I'm gonna open my second Chicks Out Chicken. We're gonna open up the next branch. Hopefully, it'll be out. It'll be ready in August.
Okay.
Look out for it. You guys can check it out on my Instagram.
I'll come by and try the Atomic.
Oh yeah, bro. Are you serious?
I'll do it.
Dude, that's gonna be crazy. Yeah. Please
will
do.
you be there?
Please do. Yeah, for sure.
I'll come by. I'll try it with you. That'll be fun.
Let's do it. For the new outlet.
Okay, yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay,
that's gonna be a lot of crying. So in summary, I never knew that I was gonna be in real estate. Like when I was in entertainment, and then when my brother told me to take the exam, I was hesitant. But then I was like, what do I have to lose? Just take the exam. I did it, passed the first time. I didn't want to go into real estate yet because I wanted to hang on to my entertainment because I was scared. I was worried.
Yeah.
But then when I just went into real estate, I realized, oh, I can do this. I actually like some aspects about this. The fulfillment of course, let's not kid ourselves. The money is great, right? But you gotta find. It's not always about the money. You know, money is great, right? But you need to find something that allows you to sustain your career, something that you like about it.
Balance,
right?
Like for what you enjoy and the money.
Exactly,
and
for
like
the
that,
mental health, right? That's really, really important. So I realized, like I mentioned to you, I enjoy seeing the families being happy to be upgraded or being able to pay off the next house and etc.
Yeah.
I never knew I would ever be in real estate. Never. I was like, no way I'm gonna change my career after 15 years. No way, 15 years, dude. That is so comfortable. I was so comfortable in entertainment. And if I didn't do that, I would have been gone because COVID hit. So that's like, I was lucky that I was brave enough to take the leap. And this is my advice for everyone. Don't be afraid to take the leap.
I think that would be a nice place for us to wrap up. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah.
I think you gave some really good advice. I think there'll be hopefully something there useful for everyone. Before we end the show, if you guys are watching or listening right now, remember that if you have a conundrum or a problem that's keeping you up at night, you can write into us at this link that's on your screen or the same link found in the show description. And finally, thank you Audio-Technica for powering the audio for this podcast. We'll catch you again in the next episode. See you guys.